a company that their primary business model is that they own a fleet of trucks, not like gigantic semis, but more like the truck that you would buy if you wanted to haul some wood clippings out or something like that. So they have this fleet of trucks and they rent these trucks out to various other companies who need trucks for some job but don't want to actually purchase and manage their own trucks. So as part of this, a number of the so because of the fact that they are regularly changing the owner of their leads from one salesperson to a different person and then back, they wanted a way for their salespeople to know whenever a particular lead had been assigned to them. So you can always do the simple email notification to send someone an email whenever something is sent to them, but we wanted something that was a little bit easier to know about when they were using the system and that also wouldn't flood their email inbox. So what I did is I attached an enable rule to the global ribbon. And basically what this does is this enable rule runs on load of the global ribbon and it checks their security role to see if they are in fact a salesperson. And then what it does is it goes and it checks for new leads that have been assigned to them. And it does this using a field that I created called notified owner of assignment. So basically it queries all of the leads in the system where they have not been notified and where they are the owner of the lead. And it creates a little notification for them at the top, this right here. If you can see this, a new lead has been assigned to you. So it actually also has a button where I can click this and it will open a new tab that takes me directly to the lead. And this works for multiple different notifications. So let's say that a user signs in for the first time in the morning and 3 leads have been assigned to them over the previous day after they signed out. They would get 3 notifications here and a little drop down, and they could click on each one to go to the lead. Now, to prevent them from getting the same notification for the same lead multiple times, every time the script runs, it goes ahead and automatically updates this field to make sure that they're not getting notified more than one time for the same lead. Yeah, so that's basically the primary idea of it. So if I create a new lead, test lead, and then I close this one out and I save, I get a new message saying that a new lead has been assigned to me. And this follows across different tabs. This one. So basically, this is a way of using the global ribbon to provide global notifications for users. And it only provides notifications for specific users based on rules that are defined on the enable rule. So that's one limitation that I found with CRM that some other Microsoft products like Finance and Operations don't have. Finance and Operations actually has notifications that can tell you that some kind of process has happened in the background. But aside from some kind of custom thing like this, I don't know of anything that CRM can do that does this.
So they've got a new preview feature out for in-app notifications for CRM. So I'll throw the link to that in the chat, but where you can enable app notifications and then you just create a notification record and then that shows up for a specific user. Might work in what you're trying to do.
Oh, wow, this is brand new.
Yeah.
2 days old.
Do you know off the top of your
Nice.
head, is that notification just displayed like in a subgrid on the dashboard, or is it like a global?
No, once you enable the feature, it adds a little notification button to the top, that top bar.
That's cool.
Can you put your own custom buttons into the notification for them to click? It kind of looks like
Yep.
you can.
Yeah, you specify what actions you want to be listed there. I was trying to get it to work for another customer from a flow, but it worked okay. It just wasn't. It didn't show up fast enough for my liking.
Well, that's good to know, because there's a bug that I had to deal with for this when I was building it. So I built this in October of last year. And I noticed that enable rules on the global ribbon actually run twice for some reason. And I couldn't figure out why the enable rule was running twice. So I actually had to do a workaround where I used local storage to tell whether or not I'd already shown a notification for a particular lead before. So I have to manage my local storage and add items and remove items from it in order to make sure that I'm not showing duplicate notifications for the same record. But that's cool.
Yeah, I was going to ask some question. That's awesome, by the way. Thanks, Derek, and thanks, Justin. We did some global notifications, but I didn't think to do an enable rule on the ribbon, because that felt like one of the drawbacks of the JavaScript approach, is that you had to either put the JavaScript on every form to do the global notification or something like that. So yeah, I wanted some clarification on how you did the enable rule, but you just answered that for me, so thanks.
Yep.
I have a question about local storage. So
Yep.
if someone clears their cache, you lose state, right?
Yes.
Okay, and doesn't matter.
I mean, so like, if they cleared their cache, then it's possible that they could end up getting a duplicate notification. So basically what was happening here is that I'm updating the record. I'm updating their leads asynchronously. So whenever we check to see if they have any new leads to notify them on, we automatically update those leads to say that we've already notified them about the lead. But since the enable rule was running twice, it would run a second time and find the same lead before it updated the lead. Does that make sense?
Yep. Okay,
So
cool.
Yep.
Cool.
So
That makes sense.
I don't think that them clearing their cache would be an issue, because both instances of the enable rule should finish running before they would have a chance to actually click to refresh the cache.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Thanks. Cool.
Yep. So yeah, this is until this that Derek showed comes out of preview and is working fully. One way that you can do global notifications is just assign an enable rule to the global ribbon and then do it from there. One downside of this is that this enable rule will run every time you do anything in the system. So you open any record, you go back to somewhere else, you go somewhere else, you change your app to like a different app. Basically, anytime you navigate to a new page, the enable rule is running. So that is one downside, and is probably something that this in-app notification feature could help resolve. but as far as I could tell, when I built this, that was the only way to do true, real, semi-real-time global notifications for users.
Cool. Thanks, Justin. You want me to share?
Sure.
All right. So essentially, their sales process inside of CRM ends at the quote. Currently, because that's all they were able to cover with their bandwidth for now. They've got a couple other programs that they use that hopefully things are coming together into CRM and Business Central in their phase 2, which is starting soon. But anyways, they needed a kind of specific way to build and send quotes and a lot of kind of different security considerations. And so this is more of kind of a UX demonstration that was kind of a little slick for the time. And there's some other use cases where things like this could come up. Especially thinking, Brandon, when we were talking about LDSC and kind of some of their phase 2 templating type stuff. But essentially, this is some template work. So we've got another table here. So we're looking at quote, and this table is called I don't remember, it's called a price quote template. And so this is locked behind only their sales managers can create new templates and edit these. These should probably not be blank. And then their salespeople can add templates to the quotes. So they've got new account and existing account pricing templates. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And this is just behind a real-time old school workflow that updates all of these fields down here for all their different rates for their different trucks, how many free miles they get monthly, and their overage charge when they go over the free miles. And so I'll kind of show again, like you can see that these numbers are going to change based on which template they're choosing. And the salespeople can put in the pricing date and how long that this quote is good for. This field is to enable customization of the prices. And so this is actually locked behind field level security. So because they don't want everybody to be able to do it, they want to be able to individually assign who can customize these quotes. And so this is just a business rule to where if they want to customize a quote, all these fields will unlock if they have the right privileges to unlock these fields, and they can come through and customize these however they need to. And then from here, all these fields just build into some word templates that is how they interact with their customers. Oh, this is kind of a messy dev, but this is probably a good one. So you can see these prices filtering in to these word templates, which they can email eventually to their leads. And so that was kind of their, essentially they present this signed agreement to their accounts receivable team, and then the orders and invoices are all handled inside of Business Central. So there's that kind of handoff. So there's still some work to be done, but this was kind of the templating solution that they wanted to create. That probably has a few more use cases somewhere in some other clients. I also think, kind of as a side note, Stephen and Alicia, this is probably a sample use case that we can build during the boot camp. It kind of touches on a lot of different components we work on. But yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to demonstrate here. We've got, essentially, they will be building orders which they call rental agreements at some point, but this isn't quite all fleshed out yet. So in phase 2, all of these prices will be ported over to the order, creating order line items, and so on. Thanks, Josh, for this button.